Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this replay between Jinro and DIMAGA here on Scrap Station. Vikings now in the air, and now Ultralist coming in from DIMAGA. So we are at tier 3. I do not see a Spire anywhere, and we have battle cruisers. So we're going to have battle cruisers versus Ultralist, and a very, very late gameplay already, just 14 minutes into this battle. A quick scanner sweep revealing all of these Hydralisks and Zerglings sitting down here, both sides sitting on a very large army, 4,000 versus 4,000 army here, and these Vikings just in the air and just getting plenty of sight. Perhaps going to try to take down some of these creep tumors and try to just push back all of this creep. The creep, you really do not want to engage any units on creep when you're facing against a Zerg player, just because these Zerglings are able to swarm you so much quickly. And now we have Ultralist moving on in. Ultralist getting an additional movement speed as well. Zerglings just so fast, and now Hydralisks also slithering along as well. So Hydralisks and Zerglings moving on out, and LiquidJinro just going with a massive Viking strategy. Mass Vikings coming on in. We do have 2 Vikings sitting up in the air here, but there are too many Hydralisks to deal with, and Jinro, if he tries to land those units, are simply just going to get torn apart. And with the Hydralisks activating that Xel'Naga Watchtower will be fairly difficult to shoot, or those Vikings to be able to deal any damage. Overlord sitting over here, and now this expansion over here to the north, not yet fully saturated, but I do not think Jinro wants to strand any of this SCVs over here. 1 Thor coupled with a 2 siege tank sitting over here, acting as a barrier to try to protect any of this front door. But now DIMAGA running off of 4 bases, as the main bases have already been mined out, compared to the 3 bases of Jinro. So this is looking very bad. Trying to stop saying fairly, as all of these Vikings going to go ahead and land and perhaps do a little bit of harassment. The Vikings trying to use their vertical takeoff and landing abilities to deal as much damage as possible, and now going to perhaps shoot down some of these Overlords, take down another Queen, another Overlord getting taken down, and now going to go ahead and jump into the air, take down some of those Overlords, another Overlord getting shot down, and there goes one more. So we may have DIMAGA, currently upside down on food, 193 over 170. So we'll need to train up, about 5 more or 4 more Overlords in order to come out in. But in comes this whole entire drop, and DIMAGA gonna get simply torn apart, losing so many of these units. 2 Ultralisks and a couple Zerglings being dropped down. But now in come those Ultralisks. Ultralisks do have 6 armor though, so the damage from those battle cruisers are only at 5 each. And now in comes some infested Terrans. Infested Terran, however, moves fairly slowly. They do have 5 armor, but quickly going to get torn apart. And now things are going to change for the worse for DIMAGA. DIMAGA really needs to figure out what to do, and he's going to counter this by pressuring on the front door. Zerglings may be able to do a quick run by here, and I do not think, no, DIMAGA does not know about this expansion over here, as now Vikings going to pressure over here, and now in come the battle cruisers and the Vikings once again. So a really nice 2-pronged distracting attack here with one of those Vikings, as this battle cruiser Viking armor gonna come in and destroy the main base of DIMAGA. Gonna take out that Ultralist cavern, perhaps the infestation pit, and those are some very high-tech buildings, very difficult for a Zerg player to really come back in. Ultralist now trying to butt their heads against those destructible rocks, as more Hydralisks just trying to run on in and getting destroyed there. So battle cruisers and Vikings now simply tearing apart the main base of DIMAGA. DIMAGA gonna lose that hive tech, unable to train up any infestation pits. Was able to produce another Ultralist cavern and another infestation pit somewhere else, also getting that Spire, so was able to get all the critical buildings up in time before that hive was taken down. But out come these battle cruisers. Battle cruisers are now upgraded 2-0, and now things are not going to look good. That Queen going to simply get toasted right there. Down it goes. A nice burning mess there, as this expansion now going to get taken out, and really the army of DIMAGA sitting at only 27-25. Things not looking good at all. Battle cruisers and Vikings still dealing massive amounts of damage, taking down the Baneling nest. The Spire has been taken down, and things not looking good. However, we do have a lot of Corruptors coming in, and if those Corruptors are able to hatch, now Corruptors able to morph out, but those Vikings able to shoot them down as well. More and more Corruptors getting torn apart, and the unit combination only what? I do not think any Corruptors. Whoa, wow, mass Corruptors coming in to try to deal with a mass battlecruiser, mass Viking army, and now 27 Corruptors coming on in and simply going to be able to destroy this whole entire fight. But without the hive tech and without the greater Spire, it is going to be very difficult for DIMAGA to change these into to any sort of brood lord and for them to be able to deal any serious damage. Battle cruisers coming in to join in on their death. Down they go. So yeah, those corruptors with a decent attack speed of 1.9, dealing 20 damage, and also gonna be able to use that corruption ability. Another battle cruiser simply getting torn apart there. So now, perhaps ground units that can attack air. We need to see perhaps some Thors, something else that can really stop this whole entire attack. And now there's going to be one Thor that's able to start shooting down, but those Thors attack very, very slowly and only deal 7 damage times 4 against these corruptors that naturally have 2 armor. Ultralist now moving on in and will be able to push in here, and Jinro is now going to be in a serious amount of pain and a serious amount of hurt now as these Ultralists moving on in. DIMAGA quickly changing up, able to produce mass amount of corruptors, and things are not looking good for Jinro once again. What a change in strategy. You know, oh wow. Wow, just don't even know what to say as these Ultralists gonna go ahead and tear apart all of these things. What a twist of fate here. That was the quote that I was trying to go for. A twist of fate, a change in the cards being dealt. As these battlecruisers are now being forced to pull back, those Ultralists now much stronger with that Corruptor support. Corruptors now in the air as they're never going to be on the ground. We are trying to go to tier 2 now. We still have the infestation pit, so we'll be able to get to tier 3 very soon. And now we have sitting on 5 infestors and also has the Neuroparasite ability. So the Neuroparasite will be able to mind control that Thor. And then as soon as you mind control that Thor and these siege tanks, things are not going to be good for this party. Back over here, Mule is still trying to mine up armies, both sides just trying to recover from heavy losses as these mineral patches nearly mined out production-wise. We see the 250mm strike cannon being researched and Terran ship level 3. So we are going to have 2-3 battle cruisers, but more importantly, more Vikings. These Vikings are now going to go out and try to hunt down these Corruptors. These Corruptors only deal 14 damage in attack against these Vikings. Vikings, however, have a little bit slower of an attack against than these Corruptors, and now in come these Overlords. Overlords are going to have some sort of drop coming on in. Will this work? And now in come these units moving back and forth, and these drop is just going to look very bad. In come these Corruptors. Corruptors able to focus and take down so many of these units, and command center getting torn apart. Down goes this Ultralist, and now we have just wanted to break that siege position. So really a defensive measure here. We do have 2 siege tanks now moving out, and that siege tank may be able to position themselves in the back and try to clear out this expansion over here. DIMAGA really winning in the harvesting game right now, seeing that 2,000 minerals or every 60 units a time versus 1,000 minerals for every 60 units a time, salvaging those bunkers, trying to get as many minerals, and Jinro sitting on 7,000 minerals. That is a lot of minerals to be sitting on. DIMAGA sitting on 3,000. Both players just really gas locked, unable to produce the higher tier units that they really want to. Actually, no, DIMAGA sitting on 3,000 minerals, and as you may say, try to spend those minerals, but he's also nearly supply capped at 183 over 200. Jinro, same thing, 176 over 93, may have to try to go for mass planetary fortresses to deal with all of these units. Still a lot of Corruptors in the air. Broodlords not yet upgraded, and now we are upgrading to tier 3. I need to try to find if there is a spire being placed down. No, Baneling Nest, Roach Warren, left over there. I do not see a spire anywhere, as DIMAGA now taking this island expansion, or this destructible rock expansion over here, and things are definitely not looking good for Jinro. Jinro in a world of hurt, not sure how he's going to really be able to play this out. Vikings now going to shoot down an Overseer very easily, and one Overlord losing, and more Overlords coming in, and now Battle Cruisers coming in, Vikings coming in to deal that damage as well. Spine Crawlers also coming in, and we have a Neuroparasite taking down, but really able to grab it back. Both sides taking heavy losses, but the Vikings now really able to just simply destroy the rest of this whole entire air army. And now once again, DIMAGA in a world of hurt. We do have 3 Thors and 2 battle cruisers left. 1 point defense drone may have been able to save a lot of this whole entire fight here. Really, a couple SCVs need to come off that line to try to repair a lot of these Thors. I think 1 Thor was lost due to the broodlings after that hatchery over here, and things not looking good once again. Still more SCVs perhaps going to try to do some long distance mining. No, SCVs now coming in to do auto repair on these Thors and these battle cruisers. So a lot of SCVs, a dozen SCVs now moving out, perhaps going to try to take down this expansion over here. DIMAGA with one queen trying to spawn larva over here, and Jinro's like, no, I found this expansion first, I'm gonna take it. Raven now over here, but now not going to be able to drop anything, drop any point defense drones. And production, we have 42 Hydralisks coming in, 3 Infestors, and now you're going to see the army of DIMAGA quickly come back from 900 into probably around the 3,000 to 4,000 range. And that is going to be really strong as soon as all of those Hydralisks are attaching. And you can see all of those units just coming back in, 35, 38, 42, 46. Such a strong army. That is the production value of Zerg. Zerg now with 3 Hydralisks, those Hydralisks, and also 5 3 Ultralisks, a very large amount of damage. There is enough for a point defense drone, perhaps 2 of them, and if there are 2 point defense drones, things are going to be very bad for those Hydralisks. Vikings now going to go ahead and come in on land, using 250mm strike cannon to take down those Ultralisks, and now that point defense drones have been drained out. Perhaps another one will be cast. Hydralisks now coming on in, Infestors unable to get that Nero Parasite off, trying to pull back, and those battle cruisers are just in the air. Now Yamato cannoning all of those Infestors. Infestors getting a couple fungal growths off, and Jinro may be able to take this game, doing a great job fighting in this choke point, preventing any of these units to come on in. Vikings now on that ground mode, and those Vikings are 3-2 upgraded, so able to tear through those Zerglings fairly easily. And now this orbital command most likely going to land as soon as this creep clears. SCVs really need to come on in and try to repair, but this creep is receding so slowly that Jinro's harvesting is only at 200, mining off of 2 mineral patches here compared to the 1,000 that DIMAGA has. So a great game back and forth. More Corruptors now coming on out. No Greater Spire just quite yet. And now we're getting the level 2 missile attacks coming in. So how is this all going to work? Siege tanks now moving in. Zerglings getting completely splattered there. 1 battle cruisers, a couple Corruptors in the air. This whole entire fight, things not looking good. Ultralisks, as soon as they're able to Vikings really need to get back into that air mode, but things not looking good. Those siege tanks really need to take down all of these Ultralisks, and now these Vikings trying to finish off this Ultralisk. Ultralisk has 6 armor, so those Vikings are only doing 9 damage per shot. Hydralisk coming on in, and now Jinro is forced to say GG. So what a great game. Back and forth here on Scrap Station between LiquidJinro and DIMAGA. Corruptors, Hydralisks, battle cruisers, Vikings, point defense drones. Everything in this massive battle. DIMAGA remembering to continue to spawn larvae, and that was able to train up, I believe, 42 Hydralisks at one time, and that really is what gave him that game, that whole entire pressure, and then continuing to train up more and more units. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between LiquidJinro and DIMAGA here on Scrap Station.